night we light the candles, and as I watch them shine, I think of what they stand for, this heritage of mine. It's more than just a story of people long ago. It reaches to the present, and deep inside I know I am a light that shines with love and promise. The darkest night can never dim my glow. Imagine life where each of us ignites the flame inside, standing close together, standing for what's right. A million ways to say I am a light. The candle called the shamash burns with a special flame. It shares its fire with others so they can do the same. From the youngest to the oldest, there's so much we can do. Like those who came before us, we must burn brightly too. I am a light that shines with love and promise. The darkest night can never dim my glow. Imagine life where each of us ignites the flame inside, standing close together, standing for what's right. A million ways to say I am a light. Hand in hand, heart to heart, one by one, that's how it starts. I am a light that shines with love and promise. The darkest night can never dim my glow. Imagine life where each of us ignites the flame inside, standing close together, standing for what's right. A million ways to say I am a light.
I am a light.
I've been wandering in the desert of doubt, searching for meaning. What is life all about? There are so many paths, and I've explored them all, but I always felt there was a missing piece. Was I somehow denying an important part of me? Then the voices of my people spoke. Now I'm answering the call. Hineni, here I am, ready to receive your holy blessing. Openly, gratefully, let me be all I can be. Hineni, here I am. Used to think this all was ancient history, just couldn't imagine what it had to do with me. stories and tales from another place and time. But my roots go deep, and with each word I read, I could hear my father's fathers and the same words that they said. It's like they all were telling me, this history is mine. Hineni, here I am, ready to receive your holy plan. Openly, gratefully, let me be all I can be. Hineni, here I am. Adonai, as the ark is opened, so is my heart, and I know I'm not alone. Adonai, as these words are spoken, I'm where I'm meant to be. I am home. Hineni, here I am, ready to receive your holy plan. Openly, gratefully, let me be all I can be. Hineni, here I am. Hineni, here I am. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, Shema, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, Shema, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Congregation Micah. We are so excited to be lifting up the spirit of this morning's Shabbat service by honoring the bat mitzvah of Hannah Warsetsky, who has studied long and hard for this day. And we are already, as I told her just before the service began, we're so proud of her already. But she is going to help lead us in prayer and in learning this morning. But I have reminded her, and I'll remind all of us, that it's not a performance, that even though she has learned so much and is so capable, that we are here to support her, and it's a community effort to have this service this morning. So I do hope that you picked up a prayer book on your way in. And we'll be muscling out some Hebrew together, and there'll be some English as well. But we do hope that you'll participate and join us, because Hannah will appreciate the support, I'm certain. And so we'll get started by just warming up with a little bit of English. I'll invite you to please read with me out loud on the middle of page 67. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. This time I'd like to welcome Hannah to come to the Bima and ask her grandparents, Edie and Bruce Slovin, and Barbara and Gerald Warsetsky, to present her with her talit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahita tefat tzitzit.
Amen.
Yeah, give him a hug. It's the least you can do, kid. Thank you.
We continue on page 74 with the singing of Ma Tovu.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu Techa Yisrael.
Hannah will continue leading us on page 76.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah, u'varevo nikovim nikovim haolim haolim. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, created the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei chol basar umafli lasot. We continue by thanking God for our souls on page 78.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Ata barata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi. Ata mishamra, mishamra bikirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi, shenatata bi tehorahi.
Please join us as we chant, starting on page 80, thanking God for the miracles of everyday life. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind to the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who moves sleep from the eye, slumber from the eyelids.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds its will with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
We continue together on page 88. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principles remain in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We continue singing Psalm 150 on page 100.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol Shema tehallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol Shema tehallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Please rise and turn to page 106. Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei rabba. Bal ma divra hirute v'yanliv mahute v'hayahom ifmehom uv'hei tekol beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv v'maru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevora leolam olam meomaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabah v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitpadar v'yitpaleh v'yitpala shemei dekudashah b'rihu le'olam min kol b'harta v'sinranta tushbechata v'nechemata damiran belma v'maru amen.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai. Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach leolam vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach leolam vaed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 110. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzar or uvarei hosech osei shalom uvarei et hakov, hameir las aretz v'lat harim alehu barachamim, uvtavo mikadesh b'kol yom tamid maaseh v'rashit. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer Hamarot. Please read with me on page 113. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that your inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'oker b'amo Yisrael b'ahava.
So at this time, we want to go ahead and invite Hannah's sister to come forward and share with us. Jesse, come on up. You're going to help us lead the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavo, Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Good job, Jesse. Thank you. And now you're going to switch places with Russell, who's going to come up and help us with the words of the Ve'ahavta. We're on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levaha u'b'kol nafshata u'b'kol meodeha ve'hayu hadivarim ha'eleh asher anohi mitzavraham hayom al livaveha v'shivtaha livaneha v'dibarta bam B'shivtaha v'veiteha, uvlektaha v'derek, uvshovtaha uvkumeha, ukshartam leot al yadeha, ve'yayu latotafot beineineha, uktavtam al mezuzot beiteha, uvishareha. Leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Etem kedoshim leohem, Ani Adonai Elohem, Asher hotzeitihem me'eret Mitzrayim, le'yod lahem leohim, Ani Adonai Elohem.
He's a little taller now, but it sounds just the same. Good job.
We continue responsively on page 121. The internal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Shircha rasha shebechu geulim leshimcha al safar hayam. Yachar kulam hodu ve'imlechu ve'amru Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Sur Yisrael kuma bezrat Yisrael ufidechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Go Aleinu Adonai Tzavot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai Ga Yisrael.
Please rise. Adonai Sefatai Tifta Ufila Yagita Hilatera.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, מביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדשים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדוש שמך נקדיש, שחוקך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
These next few moments are for your own silent prayer. We invite you to take as much time as you need and find your seat when you've completed it.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל וחסד ורחמים עלינו, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, על כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, על כל ישראל עמך.
I think it's fair to say that so far Hannah is doing a superb job in leading us through the service this morning, and we're going to continue on page 244 with the reading of Torah.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אב הרחמים היטיב ברצונך את ציון, תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך העולם נישא, אדון עולמים.
At this time, I'd like to invite our ARC openers forward, cousins Ashley, Haley, Jonah, Micah, Jaden, Alexa, Olivia, and Mitchell. And if you're a cousin and I didn't mention your name, I guess you can come forward too. But come on up at this time. And as everybody rises, I'll invite great-grandpa Poppy Ed Warsetsky, grandparents Gerald and Barbara, as well as Bruce and Edie, and of course Mark, Gail, and Russell, and Hannah to line up at the bottom of the steps in generational order.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
Quite as special as a reminder that the way we transmit the values of our Jewish tradition is through the generations. Now it's represented here in one family, but it's represented on a bigger scale just in this room in general. We are the community that has created this wonderful woman who's been leading us in service this morning. Now, the folks who are lined up here in the front, they've probably done a little more work than the rest of us, especially the two adults down at the end. But really, we're all responsible. It's upon all of us to walk the walk that demonstrates to Hannah how she should walk, so that those who look up to her, and I have no doubt there will be many, will also learn what it means to be a righteous person walking in this world. So we now pass this Torah down through her family, her generations, and it will then fall into her arms where she will chant the words of the Shema.
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo. Adonai iti, Unoromama, Shemo Yachdav.
And you can take your hand or your challah or your prayer book to the Torah and kiss your
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed, Al HaTorah, V'al HaAvodah, V'al Gimelur Hasadim, Al HaTorah, V'al HaAvodah, V'al Gimelur Hasadim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed, Al HaTorah, V'al HaAvodah, V'al Gimelur Hasadim, Al HaTorah, V'al HaAvodah, V'al Gimelur Hasadim. Lechu naranana, lechu naranana, lechu naranana l'Adonai, lechu naranana, lechu naranana, lechu naranana l'Adonai, lechu naranana, lechu naranana, lechu naranana l'Adonai, lechu naranana, lechu naranana, lechu naranana l'Adonai.
Please be seated. Okay. So Hannah is reading from Parshat Tazria this morning, and I just feel like I need to say a couple of words about this particular Torah portion, which is often coupled with next week's Mitzvah. It's often a double Tazria Mitzvah. In this case, it's not doubled this year, but nevertheless, these two portions in the book of Leviticus tend not to be a bar or bat mitzvah student's dream come true. Mostly because they deal with all sorts of fluids, that can come from our bodies that we're not really certain of or enjoy discussing. And Hannah, I feel like you've really managed this portion with quite some grace given your stage of life. So with that, we'll continue. And you'll be reading from chapter 13 this morning. And for our first Aliyah, we invite great-grandpa Poppy Ed Warsetsky, grandparents Edie and Bruce Lovin, and Barbara and Gerald Warsetsky. Ya'amdu likbod haTorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Banu Mikol Hamim V'nenten Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah V'habaged Ki Hiei Vo Nagasarat Beveged Sumer O Bevged Pishtim O Vishti O Vaerev La Pishtim Vla Sumer O Vior O Bakol Malehed Or Vahaya Hanega Yerak Rak O Adam Dam Beveged O Vaor O Vashchi O Vaerev O Vakol Kalior Nagasarat Hu Vara et HaKohen Vira HaKohen et Hanaga Vaneskir et Hanaga Sheva Yamim Tanai Rohenu Melech Haolam Asher Matalanu Turat Emet V'chaye Olam Nata B'tohenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Whether you want to or not.
And I'll make you stay and come on the side.
My turn.
All right, great-grandparents and grandparents are going to stay here and just come to this side of the bima and stay nice and close to Hannah so she feels your love and support. And for our second Aliyah this morning, we're going to invite aunts and uncles Ryan Slovin, Stu Warsetsky, Melissa Warsetsky, Carrie Warsetsky, and Shayna Warsetsky. Ya'amdu likbod haTorah.
I'm a cat. What's up, guys?
Melissa can.
It's their fault, not theirs.
Yes.
Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Banu Mikol Hamim V'nenten Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah V'ra'a et Hanega Bayom Hashvi Ki Pasah Hanega Bebeged O Vashti O V'erev O V'or Leo Asher Yahaseh Or Limlak Sarat Mameret Hanega Tamehu Visara et Habaged O et Hashti O et Ha'erev Batzmer O Vapishtim O et Kol Kali Haor Asher Yihayavo Hanega Kisarat Mameret Hi Baesh Tisareh V'im Yerah HaKohen V'hanilo Fasahanega Bebeged O Vashti O V'erev O V'kol Kalior Ukavata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natamanu Torah Emet V'chaye Olam Nata B'tohenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Thank you. This group gets hugs.
Where was I?
For the third Aliyah this morning, we'll invite Hannah's parents, Mark and Gail, and her brother Russell, and even her sister Jessie to come forward, to come close to Torah, and we'll formally call Hannah as a bat mitzvah at this time. We say, Ta'amdu, Hannah Sarah bat Golda Yehudit v'Yisrael lichbod ha'Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach, Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Ba'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Ba'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamim, V'neten Lanu Et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai Notena Torah. Amen. V'sarah HaKohen, V'achvisu et asher bo hanega, V'heskeru shevat yamim shani. V'ra HaKohen achari HaKobes et hanega, V'hani lo hafa hanega et ano, V'hanega lo fasa tamehu. He ba'esh tisrefenu fetet ki v'ragato o v'ragato. V'imra HaKohen V'hani kahi hanega ahari hakobes ovto v'ra oto min habaged o min haor o min hashi o min ha'erev. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan banu Torah emet v'kiyenu olam nata v'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai Notena Torah. Amen.
This group gets a hug. Actually, no, yeah, we're done. Yeah, you're good. All right, Jessie, I have a feeling at your bat mitzvah you might get outsung. You'll have two loud voices singing with you. But that's exciting to think about. We take a moment at this point in our service to just relish in the beautiful Torah reading that Hannah just offered, and to think about those who really could benefit from some beautiful chanting as a way of healing their body and soul, those who are in need of healing at this time. We think of those in our circle of friends, and as my hand moves around the room, I'll invite you to share the names of anyone you may be thinking of. It may be even your own name that could use a little bit of tender love and care these days.
Dave Watkins, Susan Bernine.
You can still say them out loud. Page 253 for the words of Misha Bayram.
Misha Beirach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
To introduce Hannah's Haftorah reading this morning, we invite Aunt Ellen Weil and Uncle Mark Steinborn.
The Torah portion this week, Tzazira, deals with the treatment of skin diseases, often referred to as leprosy. The Torah this week from 2 Kings tells a tale of Naaman, a Syrian general, who was healed from some such disease by the waters of the Jordan and through the mediation of the prophet Elisha.
Elisha was the chief disciple of the mentor Elijah and was active for about 50 years between 850 and 800 BCE. While Elijah was an outsider, engaged in confrontation with corrupt power and religion, Elisha was the man whose counsel the rulers of Israel tended to seek. He had been a farmer before he became a follower of Elijah, and his concern for ordinary folk never left him. He was the subject of folk tales, and many miracles were ascribed to him.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'piyim tovim v'yitzar b'tivreihem hanevramim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai havoher b'torah u'moshi ovto u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'niviei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'yishba mi ba'el shalish avilish ha'elohim lehem bikorim etrech le'emim sorim v'karmel betzek lo no vayomer tamlam vayohelu vayomer misharto ma atain tezeh levna mayamish Vayomer tamlam, vayokelu, yiko amer Adonai achol v'yoter, v'hitain livneim, vakol tirulu, kivar Adonai.
If you'd like to join us for the blessing after, we're on page 254. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'amim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shechol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'muvarchim otach Yitbarach shimcha b'fi chochai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In my Torah portion, Tazria, we are presented the rituals of purification after childbirth and the methods for diagnosing and treating a variety of skin diseases. It was believed these diseases were brought on by the sin of slander or gossip. We also learned what rituals people went through to get cured or clean from the skin disease. Additionally, the need for and importance of reflection when we have committed one of these offenses is taught. While we may know today that illness and infection are not linked to one's behavior or morality, the rabbis and sages of our tradition thought it could be. For example, Rabbi Samuel said that the serious skin infections mentioned by the Torah are the results of 7 kinds of wrongdoing: slander, bloodshed, perjury, adultery, arrogance, misappropriation, and meanness. In addition, Rabbi Pinchas Pinelli says that slander, gossip, and tale-bearing are all forms of damage to individuals in society that may be caused by words. Even though we now know you will not get punished with a skin disease, one should still understand and reflect when they use words to harm others. Think of a time you have used words to harm someone or be hurtful to someone in any way. Did you do as the Torah says and spend time reflecting on what you said and taking actions to make it right? What we can learn from my Torah portion is that we have to be careful with our words, as they can be used to harm others. When I was younger and on my gymnastics bar, sometimes my sister would come up and swing on it even though I was in the middle of using it. When she did so, I would get very upset and say unkind words meant to hurt her. Looking back now, I think instead of resorting to hurtful words, I should have asked nicely for her to wait her turn. By reflecting on my actions, I can modify my behavior to not make the same hurtful decisions. However, in the Torah, this reflection time was prescribed. So what would happen to a person when they were afflicted with an illness or infection as a punishment during the biblical times? Once pronounced impure, they were separated and quarantined. We've all learned a lot about that recently. Although they were not quarantining for the same reason as us, they were quarantining as a time to reflect on their actions and what they had done wrong. Once they were clean or considered pure, they were allowed back into the community. They were also required to bring an offering for their sin. This Torah portion says a lot about infection and illness in the community. This may seem gross or strange to some of you, but I am intrigued by this portion because, as most of you know, I want to be a doctor. Understanding the causes and treatments of these ailments and how to ethically treat patients is an important aspect of being a doctor. One of the ideas in my Torah portion that interested me, in particular, was that there was a way for everyone, rich or poor, to absolve themselves of sin and thus get better physically from their punishment. God was very specific about making sure that people were not necessarily meant to bring equal offerings, but offerings that were what they could give and what they could afford. A quote from the Talmud says, "But one and the same are the generous and the meager offering, provided that the person's intention and sincerity are directed to God." It was also clear that God wanted people to keep their dignity in these situations. When it comes to health and well-being, one's dignity is central to one's well-being. So as someone who wants to be a doctor, I know it's important to do what we can to preserve the dignity of others. These principles, treating others not based on their wealth and preserving a person's dignity, are what I believe to be the core of becoming a great doctor. In the spirit of improving one's well-being, I chose my Mitzvah project based on this ideal. My Mitzvah project is collecting art supplies for the Ronald McDonald House. It is my hope that teens that are staying there will be able to use these supplies to help them express their emotions related to a family member's illness. I believe that people need healthy outlets such as art to express their emotion in a positive way, rather than turning towards harmful words or behaviors discussed in my Torah portion. I believe another important part of limiting the spread of lashon hara, which is gossip, slander, lies, or misinformation, is to surround yourself with people who choose not to use words to harm others. I am fortunate to be in a friend group who is very supportive and inclusive to everyone, and that does not participate in much gossip, which I know is very rare, especially in teenage life. I strongly believe that the community of people we are surrounded by also affects how we treat others and the choices we make. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the important role models and people in my life for all that they have done to help me get to this special day. 2 very important ones are my mom and my dad. Mom, thank you for listening to me practice my Hebrew, driving me to religious school and tutoring, and for spending countless hours on all the amazing decorations and details in making this day so special. Dad, thank you for working on the centerpieces, helping Mom and I use better choice words when talking to each other, always willing to help with everything, and for making an amazing slideshow of my life that I can't wait to watch later. I'd also like to thank Rabbi Lori, Miss Lisa, Miss Julie, and all my wonderful teachers here at Congregation Micah for helping me learn to read and chant Hebrew and prepare for my bar mitzvah. I would also like to thank all of you who came from near and far to share this special day with me.
So, Hannah, you can relax just for a second, but you can't sit down because everybody has things that we want to say to you, and I have so many things that I want to say to you, but I'm just going to have to be brief. I enjoyed so much working with you. We really only got to work together on Zoom, but every time I would turn on that screen and you would be there smiling, and it was so much fun to see you. You were always enthusiastic. You always did what we asked you to do, obviously, because you went on to do so much more after I even was done working with you, and I'm just so impressed with everything you did this morning, and your sermon was wonderful, and I just learned that you want to be a doctor, and I have no doubt that you will be a wonderful doctor, just based on your attitude and what you said, and I just can't wait to see what you do. And this has just been such a joy to watch, because it was just a few years ago, Russell, that it was your bar mitzvah, and now here you are, this tall, handsome man. It's like, wow, that's Russell. I mean, it's just been such a lovely thing to see how you're passing it through the family, and we have this special blessing for you. Get my guitar turned on here.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you be blessed with understanding, with wisdom and compassion in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song. May your lips sing out for justice. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
Okay, Miss Hannah, before I invite Julie Greenberg to come forward and she can make her way, I'm going to go ahead and let you add your name to our Torah scroll of names. Your brother's name is somewhere in here in the annals of time. In his lovely handwriting. You'll have to pick something else. And for those of you who do not know, Julie Greenberg is our education director, and I know takes such pride and joy in seeing
folk read Torah here, so I'll leave you two. Thank you, Rabbi Lori. So yes, Russell, we still have it. Good job. And Hannah for president, Dr. Hannah for president. Mazel tov. I really do just want to give you a hug and celebrate the fruits of all of your hard work, which I know you have taken so seriously, and it shows. And I join in your family's pride at just the remarkable young woman that you continue to become in front of our very own eyes. I feel better about the future. I feel better about the world. The Jewish world has gotten stronger today for sure, and we're going to, put you out on loan to the rest of the world, but this is where we feel you belong best. And I just want to say also, this is not the end, right? This is just another beginning. You have so much to offer us, and we still have a lot to show you. We get to take our show on the road and go to Alabama and Washington, D.C., and New York and Israel. And we have, speaking of Israel, a few little gifts on behalf of our board of directors, our board of trustees. Every very special Jewish life cycle event has to have a certificate, right? And so much has gone into this. So you'll sign this for us as well and hold on to that. But there's also a gift certificate for $250 off a trip to Israel. And then I'll let you unwrap later, but we've got a Kiddush cup in there to help you celebrate future Shabbatot and Pesach Seders and all the other things that you're going to want to celebrate, right? Yeah. So I look forward to many more years ahead on your journey. Thank you for being just really what Micah is all about, and doing justly and loving mercy and walking humbly. You're welcome. Mazel tov. Thank you, Julie. And I also appreciate that Julie got the blue memo this morning. Yeah, I did. I didn't know. That's good. All right, now I'm going to invite your parents to come forward and remind them to please use the microphone when they do.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna see if we can do this without too much crying. Words are hard. This is one of your favorite expressions, and it's more than appropriate as we try to put into words what you mean to us and our family on this special occasion of your bat mitzvah. From the beginning, you've brought more joy and excitement into our lives than we could have bargained for. When you decided to join this world 3 months early at 2 pounds, 11 ounces, we always said you couldn't wait to be born. You were and continue to be always ready to live life to its fullest. One of the many things we love about you is when you are passionate about something, you dive straight in and put max effort. We all witnessed this come to fruition as you became a bat mitzvah today, after months of preparation and dedication. We can see this enthusiasm in many activities you do, including gymnastics. Watching you flip, jump, tumble, and fly through the air brings a smile to our face because we know the love you have for this sport and competing, and it makes us feel like you landed the perfect 10 every time. Your creative side is another area that brings joy not just to us, but to everyone who gets to experience it. You're a blossoming writer, artist, and actor. Your love of theater, and more specifically musical theater, encouraged us to purchase season tickets to Broadway at TPAC Nashville. This has been one of the most enjoyable experiences for our whole family and has now become a tradition that we hope someday you will share with a family of your own.
Not only are you passionate about things that interest you, but you are passionate about your friends and your family too. Another thing that makes us proud is watching how you care for and protect all living things. Even when we just want to kill that pesky fly, you remind us that all life is precious. You are the most thoughtful friend, always willing to listen and stick up for others, even when it's not a popular thing to do. Again, your enthusiasm shows for your family. The bond you have with both of your siblings is strong, and we hope each of you, as you grow, it only becomes stronger. Your brother is headed off to college in several short months, and things will change between you. watching the two of you have long discussions and laughs over Star Kid performances, YouTube personalities, Minecraft, theater, and so many other topics has laid the groundwork for you to have an older brother whom you can go to discuss any topic, silly or serious. He will always be there for you with a unique perspective and an encouraging word. Then there's your sister Jessie. Watching the bond between the two sisters has been something special to witness. Although admittedly, your passion for each other may not always end well, you two truly would do anything for each other. We love watching you supporting and cheering for each other in sports and school performances. And well, let's face it, the two of you can make anything into an amazing arts and craft project. It is our hope for you that this same fierceness that gave you the fight to live and continue to fuel your passions will continue to help you make your impact on this world. We are excited to watch all that you will continue to achieve. We love you.
Love you too. Love you too.
Hannah, I love that. I feel like, what a missed opportunity. I did not know the musical theater piece, and you'll have to continue coming for tutoring so we can just talk about our favorite shows together. Yeah, see, I just got a yes.
Yes.
No kid actually says yes to that. She just said yes, so it's good. All right, Julie will join us for that, I have no doubt. All right. We are going to move to conclude our service and invite our Torah dressers, Aunt Pat Lambert and Aunt Carol Perelson, to come forward. And our ark openers, Ellen, Allie, Carly, and Sydney, please come join us as well. And we invite everyone to please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ויד משה הודו על ארץ ושמיים וירם קרן לעמו תהילה לכל חסידיו לבני ישראל עם קרובו הללויה הללויה הצקעים היא למחזיקים בה דחומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם.
Now, before we move to the Elenu, and you guys are now in the inner circle, so thanks for being up here, we're going to offer Hannah a blessing. We'll just stay like this in this nice circle. I feel the feminine energy happening up here. I like it. So, Hannah, we want to offer you, Lisa's going to join us, a blessing. It also comes from where the Leviticus, where you just chanted beautifully from this morning. It's one of the oldest in our traditions, and it goes like this.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Hannah, may you always know grace and goodness, and may God's blessing be upon you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God's countenance shine upon you and through you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
And may you and all of us who have the gift of knowing you, this entire community, know the greatest gift we can get every day. It's the gift of shalom, of wholeness and peace. And together we say, Amen. We continue with the words of Elena, page
282. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kachol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
We'll continue with the words for the mourner's Kaddish. They're on page 294. We take into our hearts the memories of great-grandparents Ruth and Harry Lambert, great-grandparents Jeannie and Stuart Gans, great-grandparents Ruth and Paul Slovin, great-grandmother Helene Warsetsky, uncles Gerald and Stephen Gans, Uncle Stephen Perelson, Uncle Paul Lambert, Aunt Sylvia Bell, Aunt Honey Snyder, Fran and Harry Kaufman, and Brian Port. If I have not mentioned the name of a loved one, I invite you to do so at this time. Yikadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divrach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudasha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the memories of our loved ones be every day for us a blessing. Zichronan livracha. Together we say amen. I mean, there's just so much exuberance. It's like she's trying to contain it. It's really rough. All right, shall we make a kiddush? And then you can hug and celebrate with everyone? Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, we're going to invite your family to come forward. We're going to make a kiddush and we'll give a big l'chaim at the end.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen
L'chaim.
Yalai lalai yalai lalai yalai lalai yalai 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 lalai yalai lalai yalai lalai
Shabbat shalom, everyone.